So anyways, finally, welcome back to Driveway. It has been quite a moment. There's been a lot of stuff that I've been doing, just trying to prep for next section of stuff. And unfortunately, I still have more stuff to clean up around here. I had to clean out the other side of the garage, clean out the attic. I worked on the house, getting the floor refinished and part of it. So it's been a hot few minutes and I haven't been really making much videos. So hopefully nobody really minds the big break there. So today I just pretty much finished installing a trailer hitch on the old Gambler Camry, mainly because all of my vehicle's trailer hitches are currently not exactly working. The Tiburon, its clutch started going out. I don't know if it's due to my wonderful driving skills or if it's more the fact of having a stage 2 clutch and 30,000 miles of in-town driving. That might have something to do with it. And then the next part is the Raider. I was moving the big Dodge L700, had the Raider in reverse pulling it, and then it went bang and a little and we ain't got no gears. So hopefully before snow flies I can get the Raider in here, pull that transmission out and see what broke. Hopefully it's just shift forks and I don't have to go through the rigmarole of replacing synchros and all that type of stuff again, but you never know. If it broke too much, I might just try to find a different one. But that's what we're doing in the off runs here. Oh, and can't forget the little mini Woody that I was working on eons ago and kind of shelved when COVID hit and prices went weird. I shoved that in the back of the P30. So we're testing some things out one way or another. Anyways, I'm going to get this thing out of here so I can get some more progress going, and we'll pick you up in a little bit. All right. Well, since I got that taken care of and I'm a little bit ahead of schedule and I haven't gotten our next project in here to start working on, how about we just kind of put our heads together and analyze why car people are probably poor, because your projects are pretty much killing you off financially. So, how much does it really cost to make something like the Crossfire? It cost me like $12,000. Okay, what does that actually look like? Would that be better off spent somewhere else? How about the prototype? What if we take everything that I've built in the last 7 years? What does that look like? What if we take everything that I built in the last 20 years? What does that look like? So, for the most part, we all know modifying your daily driver is not a bright idea. So you always want to have a project vehicle, something that you can tinker around with. If she blows the magic smoke out the wrong orifice, then you still can go to work, make money, and make your repairs. You don't want to do that to your daily driver, or you'll be down hardcore, like I tend to be when I was breaking the Tiburon. So I've kind of am now driving the Gambler Camry while I wait to get the Tiburon in the garage for another clutch checkup. Anyways, let's pull up the laptop and we can actually look and see if you're making enough money to do a project or if you should just live vicariously through the internet. Alright, so I fired up some screen capturing software on the old laptop here so we can take a quick peek at some wonderful little numbers, and you can see where you might stack up with what you're making, and if you should kind of venture down this never-ending path of modifying, upgrading, breaking, modifying projects. So, as we first look across here, I have pre-programmed in here some basic yearly salaries. We got your $30,000. That's going to be on your low end. That's your barely $15 an hour. You're working at the local O'Reilly's, McDonald's, whatever, trying to struggle to survive. And you got this brilliant idea that you want to build some projects. Trust me, I was there, I did that, not fun. Anyways, then we go up to your $40,000 a year. That's going to be your little higher than entry level stuff. You're getting paid halfway decent, you know, a little bit of manufacturing, maybe a little welding, that type of stuff. You're at 40. Then you're hitting that 60. You're making your way through the ladder of corporate world. You're doing decent. That's where we're at. I'm a little bit in between that and the 80. I'm kind of more 65. That's where I'm kind of hanging out. Then you get your 80 and your 100. Those are nice places to be. Hopefully you're there, and you know whether you got the upside or downside. If you're married, that can kind of go up or down. But then if you got kids, that can definitely go down. Anyways, so I just pre-programmed some generic tax information. So roughly, you're going to have that taxes taken out, state, Medicare, all that usual fun stuff. Then I just threw in a random dollar amount for healthcare. Hopefully you have some sort of health insurance. Hopefully it's through where you work. If not, and you're under that 60,000, about that $200 to $300 is what people in the United States can get for kind of the Obamacare buy-in. So we're just gonna kind of leave that there. And then the big one is, if you have a retirement program where you work at, make sure you cash in on that. Don't go bombing around and spending that extra $100 or whatever. Because the earlier you get that money into that retirement, the more that can develop, make your percentage on top of percentage, and you'll be hauling pretty good for retirement. So I kind of consider that minimum things you need to have taken out of your paycheck before you even get money to do something with. Of course, everybody has their priorities. If you do have massive levels of debt at that point, sometimes it's better off to pay out that massive high interest debt than it is to get your return on your retirement. But if you can, make sure you get that retirement going earlier, the better. If you can start investing when you are 20, there's a good chance you will have $1 million by the time you need to retire. And it's very unlikely the government can take that away from you. Anyways, so after that, we got our line of take-home pay. So this is pretty much what you should expect to see on your paycheck. Now, we enter into this wonderful thing of your house and rent. You need a place to live. You need a place to store your junk. What can you do for that? It's going to be really tight to hit that 450. I've lived in some really crappy houses, and all I really needed was a big driveway. But anyways, 450, That's really the minimum around in this area. That has shrunk to almost nothing now. So you're stuck in apartments, kind of small multi-apartment houses. And so essentially at this point, you're just out. At that $15 an hour, don't even think about doing projects. It's not advisable, it's not gonna end well, and you're gonna hate everything. So, where I'm at, if we're just kind of going, I'm gonna be roughly at that 60,000 just for rough operation. I'm paying about $1,200 for my house and this garage thing. I got it dirt cheap. That's the least you can possibly get something like this. If I were to buy this in the current market, I'm probably going to be double that. But anyways, let's just move on. Everything else should be pretty self-explanatory. You got your utilities, you got food, you're not living high on the hog. I bumped it up 3 each tier because hopefully you want to be eating healthier, and healthier is always more expensive. So, then you also want to make sure you put in a little bit of money for your savings, for when your daily launches its transmission. You need to be able to get another transmission chucked in that baby real quick so you can get back to work making that moolah. So, you need to have that savings built up so you can survive even if you get canned from work or your boss pisses you off. You need a good 3 months worth of buffer there. So anyways, now we got down here, just a simple car. That's your daily. We're not buying Corvettes. You're buying like a Toyota Camry, and we are running the wheels off that thing. Because you need to get to work, you need to make money, so you can spend it on frivolous purchases. And then of course your insurance, fuel, some other random needs, haircut, some clothes maybe. We're not buying Tommy Hilfigers here. Actually, most of my clothes I buy at Menards. Super cheap, super affordable. You beat the crap out of it, throw it in the dumpster. Moving along. And then some other stuff for repairs, you gotta fix a running toilet, fix your faucets. There's always something that needs to be repaired one way or another. So, at the end, that shows you how much your cost of living exists. So as you can see, this dirt cheap pie in the sky, wish you could get there, that is $1,300 you're spending, which only leaves you maybe $400. So that's all your fun. You want to have what? Good internet? That comes out of there. You want to go to a movie? That comes out of there. You want to go take a little road trip? Comes out of there. If you're an alcohol drinker, that's definitely coming out of there. If you're an unfortunate smoker, coming out of there. So you can see at this monthly buffer how dire things actually end up becoming. So you can see you got $400 here. With this hypothetical one at the $40,000, you're living in a little bit better place for rent. That's only $800 rent. You're not living high on the hog still. You're barely able to make things go. You're still at that 400. Then over here at the 60,000, we're getting into some territory here. Got about 970 that we can spend. That's pretty nice. So, that means, basically, in my opinion, you shouldn't tackle any project unless you're hitting about 60,000 a year. Now, I know for a fact that I was tackling projects when I was making much less. And it's kind of cost me? I got like no retirement to speak of. I'm basically debt free, but I got no savings, no real anything. So everything is kind of order as it comes in. So that's where I'm not able to hit super fast projects like a lot of people that can just credit card 20 grand, because I don't want to be that credit card lifestyle. So we're sticking with taking the money that we're making, buying some parts, having no interest, no debt, and we'll be sitting awesome. But anyways, that gets you over here into your project side. So this is an interesting little table that I kind of came up with. We're gonna throw in the cost that I spent approximately on that blue pickup truck back in 2002 when I bought it. I bought it for like $1,200, and then over the course of about 6 years, I drained another 20 grand into that. Worst purchase of all of that was probably rebuilding that motor improperly. That cost a lot of money, and I probably should have just picked up some sort of crate engine, jammed it in there, and I'd probably still be driving that truck. But the learning curve, it probably was a little bit worth that, just to learn everything that I know about vehicles from just tackling the project. Anyways, so I put 20 grand into that. That took 72 months. So on average, I was just saving off $280 a month, which isn't really bad if you think about it. So your 6-year project, this is going to be like, hopefully it's your one and only vehicle. You're not an idiot like I am and you want to keep building and building and building. So you get a vehicle, throw some cash into it, build it up nice, maybe older Corvette, you want to LS swap it, maybe a little bit of turbo action. You can do that pretty easily, only costing you $280 a month. But here's where we start having fun. You take all that money, we run that all the way down to our 72, that's $20,000. Now, if you had that $20,000 that was put in that vehicle into kind of like a mutual fund, running like the S&P 500 index funds, you would have a little over $24,000. So $4,000 would be extra sitting there doing nothing. That sounds like a cool idea. So, in a perfect world, you'd probably have an idea for a project. Then you'd start saving money. Maybe you save $250 a month for 6 years. Then you got some cash, and then you can haul on that project. And it would have already made you an extra $4 grand. So you have another $4 grand worth of parts, or that can be set aside for future ideas. But you want to know the scariest part? If I took that $20,000 that I spent on that truck that turned into 24, and I did that 20 years ago, at the end of the second year, that would have been 26,000. At 10 years, that's 47,000. And now down here at 20, you can see that blue pickup truck cost me $94,000, because that $20,000 was not in an interest-bearing account. It was not making me money. It was sitting in a truck that blew out his flipping camshaft and ate the entire engine. $94,000. That's brutal. So, if you want to do a project, you definitely need to make sure that that project fits in your budget. You really need to make sure that you don't go over budget and screw things up. And then you really, really need to make sure that you're okay with losing that level of money. Because if you really think about it, if I was one of those investment bros, I'd have well over $250,000 sitting in my bank account right now. And not sitting on maybe $30,000 worth of relatively useless to other people race cars. Anyways, hopefully that hasn't depressed you too much, but if you're thinking of getting into this type of thing, you really need to be aware of the pitfalls and caveats and sacrifices crazy people like us make just to make weird little junk. Anyways, this is going to be enough for me. I've got more junk and garbage to take care of. Luckily, I got that trailer hitch onto the Gambler Camry, so I can get some more cleaning stuff. Hopefully, I can get the Raider in here for a checkup on the old transmission. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching. Hopefully, we'll see you again later.